गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरोधारे जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरिवरोधारे यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनतीरा वनचारी यमुनतीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपाद Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Gaura Pramanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistake. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, Text 63. Chapter entitled Prithu Maharaj Meeting with the Four Kumaras. Kirtyodva Gitaya Pumbe Krityodva Gitaya Pumbe Trailoke Tatra Tatraha Trailoke Tatra Tatraha Pravishta Karna Randresu Pravishta Karna Randresu Srinam Rama Satam Hiva Srinam Rama Satam Hiva Kridyodva Gitaya Pumbe Trailoke Tatra Tatraham Pravishta Karna Randresu Srinam Rama Satamivam Kridyodhva Gitaya Pumbe Trailoke Tatra Tatraham Pravishta Karna Randresu Srinam Rama Satamivam. Kritya by reputation, Puritva Githaya by loud declaration, Kumbe by the general public, Triloke all over the universe, Tatra Tatra here and there, are certainly Pravista entering Karna Radresu in the oral oaths, Srinam of the woman, Rama, Lord Ramachandra, Satam of the devotees, Eva like. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary system. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. In this verse, the words Srinam and Rama are significant. It is the practice among ladies to hear and enjoy the praises of certain heroes. From this verse, it appears that Prithu Maharaj's reputation was so great that ladies all over the universe would hear of it with great pleasure. At the same time, his glories were heard all over the universe by the devotees, and they were as pleasing as Lord Ramachandra's glories. Lord Ramachandra's kingdom is still existing. And recently there was political party in India named the Ramarajya Party, which wanted to establish a kingdom resembling the kingdom of Rama. Unfortunately, modern politicians want the kingdom of Ram without Ram himself. Although they have banished the idea of God consciousness, they still expect to establish the kingdom of Rama. Such a proposal is rejected by devotees. Prithu Maharaj's reputation was hurt by saintly persons because he exactly represented Lord Ramachandra, the ideal king. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 4th canto, 22nd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Prithu Maharaj meeting with the 4 Kumaras. Om Magyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaktoranmalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sangrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanditam Shan. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabando Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Risabhano Sude Devi Pranamame Haripriye Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Etiyordva Gitaya Pumbe Trailokye Tatra Tatraha Pravista Karuna Randresu Srinam Rama Satam Hivam. Throughout the whole universe, in the higher, lower, and middle planetary systems, Prithu Maharaja's reputation was loudly declared, and all ladies and saintly persons heard his glories, which were as sweet as the glories of Lord Ramachandra. So here, it is very beautifully explained how Prithu Maharaj resembled as good as Lord Ram himself. So there was a time, the whole universe, people were very happily situated due to the great ruling of the pious king who are able to follow the path of dharma very nicely. And people are happily situated means somebody is very happy in their life, very peaceful in their life. They may be able to have a good sleep. If you are not having a good sleep, there is something is not right with the body or the mind. So it has been said in the kingdom of Ayodhya, in the ruling of Lord Ram, that everybody slept very well, a good sleep. Sometimes people have got a lot of money, very advanced, the materialistic way of life, but unfortunately they have to depend on these sleeping pills. Many people's life at the present moment in the world are dependent on different kinds of pills. You know, there are so many kinds of medicines, pills are there to keep them under control of their blood sugar, of their pressure, of their depression, cholesterol, and so on. Without the pills, their life is finished. So it is said in the Sastra, there are 6 kinds of people won't be able to sleep. Number 1 is that those who are rich, those have got lots of money, they won't be able to sleep well. Always their mind wander. The great anxiety, how to protect and maintain this wealth. And you'll be able to see their house got a lot of big bulldogs to protect everything they've got. So generally, the rich people are not able to sleep well. And the poverty-stricken people also not able to sleep well. Who has got money also cannot sleep. Who has no money also cannot sleep. And those who are sick all the time, those who are affected by different kind of disease, a sick person also not able to sleep well. And a policeman, normally, they also cannot sleep well because they're always thinking how to catch the thief. And number 5, a thief also cannot sleep well because he's always worried about the policeman. And number 6, serious students. Serious students also cannot sleep well because they always have to refer and study the books. If your children are sleeping too much, and you should know the outcome of the result. So in this way, in the present moment in the world, that people are not sleeping well, people are not having happiness in their life or satisfaction, even though they are very much advanced materially compared to 50, 60 years ago. But somewhere or other, they are not very much peaceful in their life. But in the time of Lord Ram, everybody were very happy. They slept very well. And if there is any problem, if you're not sleeping, able to sleep well, or they have some problem in their life, either mentally or physically, they can go and approach Lord Ram. They can challenge Lord Ram in your kingdom. How is it possible that we are having all kinds of problems? Of course, today you go and challenge them, they may throw you in the prison. Nadi vyadi jaraglane dukkha soka bhaya klamer mrityo chanitatam nasit Rama Raja adok sajam. In the ruling of Lord Ram, there is no any anxiety in the life of his dependents, the citizens. Nadi, Vyadi, Jharan, Glanir, Sukadoka, Baya, Kalamir. They were not even suffering mentally. I want to talk about physically. There is no requirement for anybody to die in a very short life. Everybody has been given certain period of time. And if anybody dies before that, like in Kali Yuga, we have been given 100 years to live. If anybody dies before that, and they can go and see the king. At Lord Ram's time, there was a boy, a Brahmana's son, 5 years old, he died. So the father and mother, they carried the body of this boy and came to the palace of Lord Ram. They challenged Lord Ram, how in your kingdom that my son can die? He's only 5 years old. And Lord Ram was amazed to hear that somebody died at that age. Unless there is somebody is not following the path of dharma here. So he sent all his ministers to go around and see what is happening in the kingdom. And they went around and came back and said, they saw everybody is following the path of dharma. And finally, Lord Ram himself, he went. And even he went to the forest to see. Then he saw that on top of the tree there was a Sudra. Sudra means a person who has no information about the Atma, the science of the soul. Like animals, they do not know what is the science of the soul. Totally, grossly, 100% they are in the bodily concept of life. So he saw that there was one Sudra hanging upside down and he's performing austerity. And Lord Ram realized that there's a Sudra. Normally they don't teach any of this detailed secret about the Vedas or mantras. So anybody who is not qualified, because they may misuse whatever they learn. Like there are today people misuse the mantras, everything for livelihood. They become like a professional, beggars. But professionally, They use the deities and mantras and the ringing of the bell to collect money for material gain. So in this way that, Sudra normally they're meant to serve the other classes. Rishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam, Vaishya, Karma, Subhavajam, Parichadmakam, Anyapi, Sudrasyapi, Subhavajam. That the Sudras are meant to do a labor job or to serve the others. But here you saw the Sudra has taken a higher position. So, like somebody who is not qualified, doctor, and he has taken, all the stethoscope and medicine and, injection and everything is, is not very good for the patient. So then Lord Ram chastised him. You are meant to follow your Sodharma. How come you are doing this thing? He says that he is interested to become a Brahmana. That he likes to chant. Then Lord Ram says, don't worry, I will be coming back in Kali Yuga. That time everybody, Kalau Sudra Sambhava, everybody will be a Sudra, not interested in the spiritual life. At that time, everybody will be given the chance, opportunity. Read the scriptures, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This was the ruling of a very pious king. Not only Lord Ram was taking the citizens, the human being, very seriously about their welfare, but he also taken care of the welfare of the animals. Even at Lord Ram's time, there was a dog, and with the 3 legs, and 1 leg, was injured. And the dog was crying and crying and crying, standing on 3 legs, and 1 leg is hanging injured. And Ram was in his palace, and then Ram heard that the dog is crying. Immediately, Lord Ram got down, and then he sent the ministers, go and see why the dog is crying. At the present moment, even human being cry, nobody cares about that. No, Lord Ram, the magnanimity of Lord Ram. So now they went around and looked, and they're not able to know why this dog is crying. Then they came and told Lord Ram that, my dear Lord, it's normal for the dog, be barking or crying, don't take it serious. And Lord Ram sent Lakshman to go and see what happens there. Lakshman went and saw that, the 1 leg of the dog is injured. And then he brought the dog to Lord Ram. You better come and, speak to Lord Ram, because Lord Ram is, worried about your welfare. And when he brought the dog, then Lakshman said, you come into the palace, speak to Lord Ram. And the dog says that, we are animals, we are not meant to go into, places like that. We are not qualified. And Lakshman went and told Lord Ram that the animal is talking dharma. Even nowadays, human beings do not know what is the etiquette of life. And then Lord Ram personally came out to see the dog. And the dog 1 leg was injured. Lord Ram asked, what happened to your leg? And the dog said, actually, there was a Brahmana. He threw a stone at my feet, and he broke my feet. So Lord Ram sent around to bring this Brahmana. They brought the Brahmana. So Lord Ram asked him, why you go and beat the dog with the stone? And the Brahmana says, my dear Lord, I was carrying some food for my family. And the dog, from the back sniffing and coming and barking, and he was, coming all the way back. I was little bit, frustrated and took a stone and then I, throw it at the dog. And he went and banged the leg of the dog. It was injured. Ram says, you are Brahmana, you're not supposed to do this thing. He said the dog has got certain guna, certain nature. It's the nature of a dog to be sniffing around, nature of the dog to be barking, and nature of the dog too when it sees some food, to follow it. And you are Brahmana. Ram says, what is the quality of a Brahmana? Samodama tapa saucham santir arjavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma subhavata. A Brahmana is supposed to be very peaceful, very self-controlled, austere, and supposed to be clean, and supposed to be tolerant, supposed to be simple, and supposed to have the knowledge in themselves and meant to apply the knowledge into their life. But you acted worse than the dog. So everybody have gathered there. Many people gathered, they told Lord Ram, my dear Lord, you better punish the Brahmana. Better punish him. And the dog has done its job, but he is a Brahmana, should not be, beating the dog. And Lord Ram says to the crowd, he says, better the dog, tell what punishment to give it to this Brahmana. And they ask the dog. And the dog says, my dear Lord, there's a temple outside this village. Now there's one temple outside the village. You better carry him on the palanquin, this Brahmana, and make him the president of the temple. And everybody was, surprised. This fellow has punished the dog, he has beaten the dog, and the dog is suffering. And despite his suffering, the dog is telling him to carry this Brahmana on the palanquin with all respect and make him the president of the temple. Nobody knows what's happening here. So they asked Lord Ram, why? He meant to be punished, but the dog has rewarded him. And Ram said, yeah, better ask the dog. So he asked the dog, why, instead of punishing him, why you're rewarding him? And the dog says, my dear Lord, in my previous birth, I was the president of the temple. And I was very proud about my position. I have no any respect for anybody coming to the temple. Like a dog, I've been barking with everybody. So for him to become a dog, he must become the president of the temple. So every commitment in our life, it comes with a great responsibility. Whether you are being a father, Guru Nasashat, Swajano Nasashat, Pito Nasashat. One should not become a guru. One should not become a worshipable deities. One should not become a father or a husband. If they are not able to deliver the dependence from the clutches of repeated birth and death, we have got a great commitment in our life. It's not that we are producing the children, but we are not giving them Krishna consciousness. You brought them to this world, you must know how to send them back. It's a great forest. Material world is great forest, filled up with all kinds of animals. Like in the forest, you don't want to leave your child in the forest, to the lion, to the tiger, to the, animals, any kinds, So, there is a great commitment in human's life, whether you are being a father, mother, or even whether being a children, you got a commitment in your life towards, no, for the children, they got a great commitments toward their parents. For the parents have got a great commitment towards their children. And husband has got a commitment towards his wife, and wife got a commitment towards his husband. So in this way, our life in the material world comes with great responsibility. We are not an animal. Ahara, Nidra by Maitunam cha Samanyamitar Pasbir Naranam Dharmet Avisto Viseso Dharmena in a Pasbir Samana. The animal, they eat, sleep, and produce children, and they also don't want to die. It is same for the human life. The eating, sleeping, making, and mating and defending. But there is one thing distinguish the human from the animals, that they're able to take the responsibility of life. That's why in the animal life there is no marriage ceremony. Human life there's a marriage ceremony. You have to respect. So in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj have asked Bhismadev, what is the duty of a righteous king, a good king? What is his duty? Bhismadev says, number first and foremost, he should be a devotee of the Lord. He's not a devotee just, not serious about spiritual life. Today we have got all kinds of devotees around. There are two kinds of devotees. One is called Abhyandaram. Another one is called Bhavyam. Abhyandaram is an internal devotee. He is a devotee inside. What is internal devotee? He has imbibed Bhakti, Jnanam, Vairagyam. He got Bhakti, he got Jnanam, and he has got Vairagyam, devotion, knowledge, and detachment. This is called Abhyandara devotee. But there are there are pretending devotees around called Bhavyam. Externally, they got the symbol of a Vaishnava. They got a tilak, they got neck beads, they got a japa beads, they got dresses. Their dresses like a Vaishnava, like a Bhakti Vinod Thakur has found 13, upper sampradaya, aula, baula, so on, A real devotee is that is Abhyandaram, that he practices everything with Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. So Bhismadev told Yudhishthira, the foremost important thing is that a good leader should be a devotee. And he should be very compassionate. He should be very loving. He must follow the path of dharma. He must also execute the different samskaras been given to them. And a king should take the subjects, the citizens. He should take tax from them, because GST. They should collect from the people. 1/6. If you're earning $6, $1 they should take away from you. Is it they're taking that much or they're taking more? Huh? They're taking 33%. So this 1/16 is a 16%. If you're earning $1,000, $160 to be taken from you, according to the Manu Smriti. And the important thing is that not only they're taking 1/6, they're taking 16% from you. In the year end, they should return to you 3 times of what they've taken from you. This is dharma. Like I take your money. It's your money. I'm taking, I'm investing, I'm making money. What I should do, I should give back the money with because I've made enough. From zero, I've made some money, but out of your money. So in this way, they should fill up their treasure. This is a good thing, not just taking and taking and taking and taking, putting the citizen into a great trouble and anxiety. Bhismadev told Yudhishthira, he says 6 things should be immediately, he says, should be avoided. He says the guru who does not speak, you avoid him. Because the guru is not, just a mechanical system here. A guru has got a duty to perform towards his devotees. And disciple has got a duty towards their guru. That's why Krishna says, Tadvadi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya uparekshantite jnanam jnanina sattva darsina yagyadvana punarmoham evam yasya pandava yena bhutani asistani tisame atmani athomai. Chapter 4, 34 and 35. Krishna says, you go to a guru, a bona fide guru, and you serve the guru and humbly inquire from the guru the Atma Dharma, the science of the soul. Don't go and ask him how to do business and make money. Don't go and tell him that you got having problem with your husband or wife. He is not here to solve your family affair. There is another place for you to go. But he is solely only for the Atma Dharma, Brahma Gyan. You have to learn the knowledge about the absolute truth, knowledge about the material nature, the knowledge about yourself. And combine it together, by the knowledge of yourself, using the material nature as a platform to re-establish your sambandha with Krishna. Bhagavan sambandha bhakti abhideya aya prema prayojana vedatina vastukaya. The whole conclusion of the Vedas is that you must understand you got a sambandha with Krishna. And to re-establish the sambandha, this material creation has been given to you. It's an element for you to use it to re-establish the sambandha. Like the whole body is made of panchabhuta. So in this way, Bhismadev told Yudhishthira, number one, you avoid the guru who is not talking to you. As a disciple, he should be teaching you, should be training you to be in Krishna consciousness. But he's not talking to the disciple. There are in India, there are this kind of gurus there. That they close their mouth, piece of cloth, and they don't speak to anybody. And there are thousands of people go and bow down to them, thinking that, oh, very great, he's not talking. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam, mudara pasta vegam. Who is able to control all the speed of all this going of the senses. So they think not talking is another austerity, opulence. So they go and bow down, they throw money, they make that person as a great guru. And some places they worship the guru because he has not, brushed, his teeth for so many years. So they think all those things, the advancement of a sadhu. But the guru means he should be able to educate the subject on the Brahma Gyan. There are 6 things, will liberate you according to the Shastra. Number 1 is studies of the Vedas. Number 2, performance of austerity. Number 3, free from any kinds of violence. Number 4, control of the senses. And number 5, serving the spiritual master. And number 6, learning the Brahma Gyan. There are 6 things will deliver. Number 1 is studying of the Vedas. Number 2, performing of austerities. Number 3, being free from any kinds of violence, ahimsa. Number 4, control of the senses. Number 5, serving the spiritual master. And number 6, learning Brahma Gyan. Out of these 6 things, the Shastra says, learning of the Brahma Gyan is the most important. Sometimes we think that spiritual master is the most important thing. No. You need a spiritual master to learn the Brahma Gyan. Why you come here? Because you wanted to know your origin. You wanted to know the reason, the purpose of your coming to this material world. You want to know how to come up from cycle of birth and death. And all this information are in the Brahma Gyan, in the Shastra. So somebody must teach you. For that reason, you need a guru. But somebody is taking a guru like a fashion, but they're not eager to study the Brahma Gyan. So why you need a guru? In India, there are many like that. Everybody say they got a guru. And you talk to them about, Shastra, about Brahma Gyan, nobody knows about, you know. So like that, Bhismadev says, number 1, you avoid a guru who is not, speaking. Number 2, you avoid a priest who do not know the Shastra. Number 2, you avoid a priest who do not know the injunction of the Shastra. And number 3, you avoid, a wife who's very harshly, very rude all the time. Family life is meant to help each other in a very peaceful way to how to serve the purpose of life. If they are rude all the time, man or woman, husband or wife, if they are rude and fighting all the time, so where is the time for you to practice Krishna consciousness? He said, you give up. And he also says that a person who is a barber, but he likes to stay in the jungle. He avoid that barber because now who wants to shave in the jungle? Yeah. And he said the coward boys who doesn't want to go out from his village also fight him because now for herding the cows, you have to take the cows, to somewhere. So in this way, Bhismadev told Yudhishthira Maharaj, he says a leader means he should be very compassionate. He's like a father for the citizen. He should be protecting. So Bhismadev told Yudhishthira, if a king is not able to protect his subject, he's very selfish and only thinking about himself. Bhismadev said, you avoid it. That fellow is not meant to become a leader, is not meant to be a king. He says you avoid a guru who is not talking to you. He avoids, a priest who does not know the Shastra. And number 3, he avoids, a king who is not giving you protection. The whole thing about a king is that a leader is there to protect his subject. If you are leader in any subject matter, all your people are like your own family, your own children. So you only cannot be selfishly think about your own position, unless the interaction of love is being there, So Bhismadev told you this year that a leader means he must be very compassionate. He must be very lovingly interactive. He said he must follow the path of dharma, principle of dharma. And he said he must able to teach the people how to do the samskaras, the 16 purificatory process. The whole human life is meant for purification. Kaye na manasa buddhaya kevaler indriyarapi yoginam karma kurvanti sangam tyatmakma suddhaye. The chapter 5, text 11, Krishna. Suddha means pure. A human life has got all kinds of contamination here. Only way you become happy and peaceful in your life, when your heart is pure. If you're living a dual life, inside you got another life, outside you got another life. Outside you, like a politician. Outside they talk for the welfare of everybody. Oh, if you're voting for me, I will do this one, this one, this one. But inside, they're not bothered about any of these people, only for the vote, vote bank. But inside, they're only interested about themselves and their family. They cannot become a leader. That's why Krishna says, Yat yat acharati shrestha tat tat ivatrojana shayam pramanam kurite lokas tatnavat. Whatever the leader does, others will follow. Whatever he lives, set aside as an example, others also will pursue it. He said, Name parthasti kartavyam trisloke kinchana nana vaktam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Chapter 3, text 22, Krishna says that, Arjun, I have no reason to appear in the world. There is no reason for the Lord to come to this world. Within these three worlds, Krishna says, I have nothing to do here. But yet I'm coming to the world, appearing here. Why? He says, Utsideyor ime loke nakuryam karmachet aham sankrasya chakartam sam upahanyam ima prajana. 324, Krishna says, if I don't come and show them how to lead a dharmic life, how to properly live, and I will be the cause for the ruination of the life of others in the world. So the leader's life is meant to be an exemplary. You just cannot implement some law and rules and anything and hoping that they will follow. They will never follow. Prabhupada, the moment you're smoking cigarette and you tell others not to smoke, they will see you are the great hypocrite. They will never follow. Whether you are whatever your organization, you go and sit. You can claim you are in a very higher organization. There are many thousands and thousands in India. But you have to understand that everything in our life comes with great responsibility. So there is what somebody may say that I don't need to follow because I'm a leader. I'm a senior. I'm a too long a devotee. Somebody may think that they are devotee, no need to follow. Nandu Prabhu. Sometimes people say all these guys are karmis, out there. We are devotee. We got a license to do anything we like. It's not true. Dharma equally for everybody. Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, today I'm with you because you obey the principle of dharma. If today Duryodhana is able to follow the same thing, I'm with Duryodhana. I'm not here on the sentiment. In the 3:17 Gita, Krishna says, Yat swa atmaratir evasyat atma triptas chammanava atmani eva santustam tasya naivam vidyate tasyam karyam na vidyate. Krishna told Arjuna that somebody who is self-realized, they are everything they do and enjoy within themselves, inside. They're not dependent for their happiness, for their peace outside. A self-realized person. Krishna says that for them there is no duty to perform. There is 3:17. But again in the 3:19, Krishna says, Tasmat asakta satatam karyam karma samachara. Asaktami acharam karma. Param apnoti purusa. Arjuna. Achara means exemplary practice. We call acharya. That means it's exemplary. So Krishna told Arjuna, by doing duty in the world without attachment, you are able to attain the supreme. He said, even though a self-realized person has got no duty to perform, but still act. A Prabhupada, he was in Vrindavan. No requirement for Prabhupada to go to America. He is totally self-realized. Kali Kalera Dharma, Krishna Nama Sankirtan, Krishna Sakti Vinanayi, Tara Pravartar. The Shastra says, unless a person is Sakti Vesh avatar, empowered by the Lord, he won't be able to spread the holy name all around the world. The Prabhupada, even being a Sakti Vesh, empowered, but still he come down. Even though he is an Uttama Adhikari, but he takes the position of a Madhya Adhikari in order to preach to the world. He himself getting up in the morning, he's taking the chanting bits and chanting. Everything is cooking and offering. But Paris, you don't need to do anything. You're always conscious of Krishna. If you're sleeping, you're thinking of Krishna. You wake up thinking of Krishna. So what do you want to do extra here? But yet, Krishna told Arjuna, you should be doing things to educate others. Karma naiva hi samsiddhim astisa janakadaya. He says, my dear Arjuna, Janaka, King Janaka is a good example. Janaka has got a kingdom to rule. He got subject the citizens to be protected and taken care. And he also got his own family. So he did not neglect his family. He did not neglected his ruling. He did not neglected the subject. He said King Janaka is a very good example. So in this way, Krishna has given a guideline for us to follow. Krishna consciousness, ISKCON, is a great hope for the world. He can bring in the great changes for the betterment of the world, provided we understand that our life comes with great responsibility. Great responsibility. That your life can be good example. People will be melted, There was in 1990, I went to England. From India, I went to India. From there, Delhi, I took a flight to England. And there was a lady beside me, white lady. And talking, and then I showed her the Bhagavad Gita. Then landed, and then I was, she was going to the immigration on the, the domestic, for the local, they got another entrance. International, for the visitors, got another, immigration site. So when landed, we coming down, we wanted to go away. And this lady handed over an envelope to me. And in that envelope, there was a 10 pounds. She wrote that, to the happiest monk, please use it for your good work. I did not preach much to the lady because, I'm also quite new to the organization. And at that time, my English is not, better, like, what I'm talking. But she saw that, that you are happy, and you got some respect. He gave the money and left. So automatically the world will learn, will be changed, provided that we become the first subject matter to change the world. Charity begins at home. Talking. There are so many religions are talking. Everywhere they say we are the only living religion. And they take the gun and shoot everybody else. And there's another, we are the only brotherhood religion. And then say everybody else go to hellish planet. We are the only religion in the world. You go to any temple in in Malaysia, At the end of the prayer, they will say, Inbame sulga elorum val. They said, let there be a happiness in the world. Let everybody live in the world. So only religion, we don't, destroy anybody else in the world. Because we understand everybody are seeking in the world. Everybody will be there at one time. Only time is separating everybody. So by our love and affection, by our quality of Vaishnava, as I said, Vaishnava means there are two kinds of Vaishnava, Abhyandram and Bhavim. Abhyandram is the internal devotee. He got Bhakti, he got Jnanam, he got Vairagya, he got devotion, love, he got knowledge, and he also has got detachment. And Bhavyam is the external devotee. He has got a Vaishnava symbol, tilak, he has got a neck beads, he got the dress of a Vaishnava, but he's a pretending Vaishnava. He hasn't got a Bhakti, Jnanam, Vairagya. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming to this world to give us, Bhakti, Jnanam and Vairagya. So here, Prithu Maharaj, been praised, as good as Lord Ram. Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Bhismadev, he says everybody is equal in the world. Then why there's a need for somebody to become a king? If everybody is equal, why you select somebody as a king? And no more equality is there. And Brahma says, Lord Brahma, he says, in Satya Yuga, he said, there is no requirement for king or chastiser. But everybody was following the path of dharma. And slowly, he says that, Rajogun, more passionate, began to influence the people. So there was a requirement for Brahma to bring in the Dandanidhi. Dandanidhi is that a science of chastisement. But earlier, before that, he said there is no requirement for somebody to be a king or this and that. Everybody was following very nicely. But slowly, when the mode of passion, influenced the people, and there was a requirement that, Dandanidhi, the science of chastisement to be brought here. Like in the chapter 10:38, Krishna explains, Dandosmi Dhamayantam, or Dando Dhamayantam Asme, Niti Asme, Vijigatam, Maunam, Chaivanam, Guyanam, Jnanam, Jnanavatam Mayam. Krishna says that, of the suppressing of lawlessness in the world, people who do not follow the law, Krishna says, I'm the punishment. Or people who are seeking for victory, he says, I'm the morality. If somebody says, I've become very successful in your life, but if you do it without any moral, it's not a success. Arjun says, Gurun Aham, in the chapter 2, text 5, Arjun says, it's better to be a beggar in the street, than living in the life of others. He said, whatever success I gain in my life, it will be tainted by blood in my hand. If I, kill my own gurus, that means, you're sucking other people's blood. You dominate other people. You manipulate material things for your own selfish gain. No, that is not success. So in this way, Lord Brahma says that he introduced the Dandanidhi, science of chastisement, and he coming like that, to Anga. King Anga was not properly ruling, and came it to, now Vena. He made it more worse. Then they have to kill him, and then he came to Nirmala. From Nirmala, he comes to King Prithu. They re-established it. So in this way, that very important that we go into the real subject and try to bring into our life. In
Hare Krishna, host has muted Maharaj, I think.
Shama Mataji, can't hear anything. Maharaj is.
What time is your prasadam here? Ready? Okay, Ma prasadam Govinde. Thank you so much for being here. And take care of yourself and be happy in Krishna consciousness. Krishna says, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sannyasi matpara. In the 18th chapter, 57, Krishna said, always work under my protection. Depend on me in every circumstance. And conscious of me. He said, you'll come back to me without pain. Machita sarva durgani. He said, but if you're not listening to me, acting on your false ego, he said, you'll be lost. If you think you're the best and great, you'll be lost. No, qualification of a sadhu is that you always remain humble. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Pramanande.